More moves are coming as following the Jays making their first move of the trade deadline by acquiring Sir Anthony Dominguez from the Orioles. Reports have dropped revealing that more moves are imminent surrounding one particular player. We're going to break down exactly what these reports are and discuss what it means going forward as the Jays prepare for something big, as we are now just one day away from the trade deadline and in the middle of a Jays 4-game losing streak. A ton to go over today. We also have various other Jays trade updates surrounding a bunch of different players. You're going to want to stay tuned to the end of this video, but before we get into it all, folks, if you're a part of the percentage who aren't subscribed to the channel, this is the place to be for daily Jays content. You guys have been absolute beasts of the support. It truly means the world to myself. If you want to continue supporting, make sure to smash that subscribe button. Folks, a ton to go over today. And a brand new report has dropped following the Sir Anthony Dominguez trade that was very interesting late last night into this morning. And we're going to start with the report, and it's surrounding Ryan Helsley from Mark Feinsand. So this was after the Sir Anthony Dominguez trade. Feinsand reveals that even with the Dominguez acquisition, the Jays remain firmly in the hunt for Cardinals closer Ryan Helsley. And of course, this dropped just moments after the Dominguez trade. But since then, we now have a bunch of new reports into past midnight last night and of course into this morning. And let's dive into this, particular player here. So obviously, the Jays' plans have become clearer and clearer with each passing minute. They are going after bullpen arms, and they are going after a pitcher as well, which we'll dive into. But let's focus on Ryan Helsley. He is an elite reliever. Once again, last year, 2.04 ERA. Year before, 2.45 ERA. This year, 3 on the dot. One of the fastest throwers in baseball. And the difference between Helsley and Sir Anthony Dominguez is Helsley has a longer track record of being an elite reliever, and he has that name value that, is probably going to cost a little bit more than Sir Anthony Dominguez. And after getting Dominguez, you can probably look at yourself now and say, okay, maybe it would take, the 8th or 9th ranked prospect rather in the Jays system, because Jordan Watts-Brown was 10th according to MLB Pipeline, 14th according to Baseball America, but he is an absolute beast. And I think he's a bit better than Sir Anthony Dominguez. He is a closer, and 49 saves last year. Like, he could probably close for the Jays, especially with the struggles that Jeff Hoffman has been having just this season in general, with an ERA approaching 5 after yesterday's earned run. But it seems they're not done, and another move is absolutely imminent. And there's some other teams involved in the sweepstakes as well: the Phillies, the Yankees, the Mets, the Dodgers, the Blue Jays. And I think that at the end of the day here, the Jays are going to make a move for Ryan Helsley. I think that seems to be the most clear-cut, solution to one of their problems now, which is you have the problem with Jeff Hoffman a little bit. Like, you're getting a little bit scared now watching him give up run after run. It's back-to-back appearances now that he's given up a run. It is what it is. You got Sir Anthony Dominguez. He is a leverage guy. We saw his stuff yesterday. You go out and you get a Ryan Helsley and then one more starting pitcher. I think you're in pretty good shape. And I mean, they should also go ahead and get a bat, especially with the way the offense has been scuffling lately. I do want to preface, every team has cold streaks. The Dodgers are coming off of losing 9 games out of 11 games. You have the Yankees not playing great baseball, albeit them and the Red Sox won yesterday. Teams are going to go through cold spurts, right? The Jays are without a lot of their best hitters. Springer, Alejandro Kirk. Santander has been out most of the year. Dalton Varsho is returning soon. This team is going to get a bump internally, but getting that bump externally from Ryan Helsley would make a ton of sense. And, of course, speaking of Ryan Helsley, again, elite, but some new reports have dropped. This one was around midnight yesterday. AL East leaders linked to Stephen Kwan as well, but pitching remains the priority. The first place Toronto Blue Jays have recently been linked to Guardians outfielder Stephen Kwan, who seems more likely to be traded in the wake of Clase A's sudden absence, but Toronto's priority remains pitching, sources with knowledge of the team's thinking said. So all these reports are coming out, again, late into the evening yesterday, and I stayed up late for you guys to make sure you get all the latest details up until went to sleep yesterday night. At the end of the day here, this team is going to acquire another pitcher. I think they're going to try to acquire someone who is better than Sir Anthony Dominguez, a guy like, I think, Ryan Helsley. I think that makes a lot of sense. And it's clear their pitching staff is what they need to improve on the most. And there was another report from Katie Wu, a Cardinals reporter as well, revealing that the Cardinals hold considerable leverage when it comes to their relievers. Several teams are in the mix for Helsley. The Phillies, the Dodgers, the Mets, the Jays, and the Tigers are all believed to be in the 2-time All-Star. Phillies' interest in Helsley dates to at least the offseason. So this is another time where a Cardinals reporter at this point is linking the Jays to Helsley. And it's at a point now where it's multiple reporters, so it is obviously legit. But the point of that is, it seems that they're going to go after another elite reliever and then probably a swingman starter, because they want someone who can start games in case of, Alek Manoah not doing well or Max Scherzer going down with an injury or something like that. But the worry here is this. their offense has scuffled a little bit as of late. And late last night, a new report has dropped from Will Salmon and Mitch Bannon. He's a Jays reporter, very notable insider of The Athletic. After acquiring Sir Anthony Dominguez, the Jays are looking for a swingman type reliever and another high leverage arm, league sources tell me. So this is the latest update. This is the latest report last night. They're looking for a high leverage arm, like, of course, Ryan Helsley, but also a swingman type reliever. So it seems that they're not going after necessarily a starter, but rather a reliever who can start games and give them some sort of length. And that's where it becomes even more interesting because we know they're all in on Ryan Helsley. They're probably in on guys like Johan Duran and all these other guys. Is he going to get traded? Like, that's up in the air. There was a fake hug thing yesterday. Even Dan Shulman in the broadcast got kind of, caught by it. The Jays are scuffling right now, and giving this team any sort of bump is going to be key. And obviously, giving the team Sir Anthony Dominguez, really good. Hopefully, the Jays can win this afternoon. But, regarding a swingman reliever, you pair this report, and of course, I'm giving you guys all the latest updates, all the reports, with another report from Katie Wu, the Cardinals insider, late last night about Steven Matz, and revealing that Steven Matz has thrived as a late inning reliever for St. Louis, but other teams could view him as a swingman option. After spending most of his career as a starter, Matz was placed in the bullpen. Entering Tuesday, he has a 3.6 ERA over 29 relief appearances, and he's been especially effective against lefties. So you have Katie Wu coming out and saying the Jays are interested in Helsley and that Matz is an available swingman option. You have a report late last night revealing that the Jays are interested in a swingman option. Could they pull off a Ryan Helsley and Steven Matz kind of, mix here? And you can see here from Claps, basically referring to the swingman and the high leverage. That's a Matz/Soroka and Helsley Bednar, although would prefer a starter over a swingman. I agree with Claps here. I would prefer a starter over a swingman, but high leverage arm, it's either Helsley or David Bednar probably, or Johan Duran if you really want to go out there. And the swingman, out of the ones available, we've heard rumblings about Mike Soroka as well of the Washington Nationals. Very interesting there. And of course, Steven Matz of the Cardinals. It's becoming pitcher clear here. Very clear, rather. I think that's the right saying. It's I'm tired. That they want, the type of players they want. And I would not be surprised if they pull, I'd be shocked at this point, actually, if they don't get a guy like Steven Matz, because I think his name has been linked to the Jays enough. Same with Ryan Helsley. I think they're going to go out and get one of the two. And again, we know Steven Matz played for the Toronto Blue Jays a few years ago, was a starter, and was really good. And the Jays did really good things with him, kind of like a Eric Lauer of this year. And even Robbie Ray, they're turning around lefties. He's in the bullpen right now. Maybe they see his starting stuff and say, okay, let's get him back into a starting role if needed. There's a lot of reports swirling around. And at the end of the day, my prediction right now is they're going to acquire Ryan Helsley, and they'll probably go out and get a guy like Mike Soroka or Steven Matz, depending on who's cheaper and who's available. And we know, yesterday night as well, that Ben Nicholson Smith said they're looking at guys like David Bednar, Phil Maton, Anthony Bender, guys like that. But they're also pursuing Joe Ryan in the middle of all this, which is a very interesting name. But that'll wrap it up. Let me know down below what your thoughts are. Today's going to be a busy day. They play at 12:35 p.m. Eastern. We'll have a video after that game, either about the game or about trade rumors as they come, because they are coming very fast, and we'll keep you updated every step of the way. You guys have been an absolute beast. More moves are coming. We'll see you guys later.